pride, passion, and determination. Words that come to mind when taking a look at the men's soccer program and the goals they have set for the season.
But they're not the only ones who have set the bar high for themselves. Working to stay true to their idea of today, not tomorrow, we see what happened when the football program saw its two biggest non-conference matchups of the season.
We can't forget about our volleyball team, and we'll see what happened when they also faced some of the biggest conference rivals.
We're just 15 seconds away from game time. Your clock starts now. Time's up.
Hope you're able to prepare yourself for an action-packed show with your dashingly handsome host, Sartaj Ojala.
And I'm Elliot Georgiadis. So, Zips fans, to start us off, let's take a look at what happened when our football team took on Marshall University and the University of Pittsburgh.
September 20th, 2014, the Akron Zips faced the storm as the Marshall Thundering Herd, a former Mid-American Conference team, faced the Akron Zips. The Herd would strike first as Marshall quarterback Rakeem Cato gallops into the end zone to get the game to 7-0. On the ensuing possession, quarterback Kyle Pohl rushes for 16 yards after he breaks a tackle. Fast forward to the second quarter, Kyle Pohl delivers a pass to Frashawn Bickley, who zips forward to help the Akron Zips get the field goal. Later on, Kyle Pohl gets out to the pocket, and before the Marshall defense can get to him and cause the sack, he lobs it to Zach DeRazio for a huge gain. Trying to ride their momentum after the pass, Akron tries to punch it in for 6, but the ball ends up intercepted in the end zone by the Thundering Herd defense. Akron would get a chance later on in the game to try and get back into the contest, but Hakeem Lawrence would lose the ball and in turn turn it over to Marshall. The Herd would open up the second half with yet another Rakeem Cato rush into the end zone to further their lead. Quarterback Tommy Woodson will enter the game later on and fire a beautiful pass to Imani Davis to inch the Zips closer. Near the end of the game, Manny Morgan would get the ball and rush it into the end zone for an Akron score. Unfortunately for our Zips, the Thundering Herd would storm their way to a victory at Infocision Stadium, 48-17. Both Akron quarterbacks combined for 251 yards passing, while Zach DeRazio led the receivers with 69 yards off of 5 catches. Mikhail Taylor Bennett was the only person to register a receiving touchdown in the contest. After a tough loss to Marshall, Akron looked to bounce back by aiming for an upset when they took on the University of Pittsburgh Panthers. After a scoreless first quarter, Pittsburgh quarterback Chad Wojtek finds Manessa Gardner in the end zone for a touchdown to get the 7-0 advantage. Later on, Akron would answer back when quarterback Kyle Pohl gets the ball to Michael Traylor Bennett, who zips through the corner to the end zone to tie the game 7-7. Pitt would try and muster up a last-minute drive, but the Zips defense would have an answer with anywhere they went. Start of the second half, the Zips would travel down to the field and cap it off with a Cody Grice touchdown, who juggernauts his way into the end zone to have Akron take the lead. The Panthers would threaten, however. Once again, the Akron defense would deliver and make a stop, keeping them to only 3 points with a field goal. Akron found some key runs by Connor Hundley, and then Akron's receiving core and LT Smith and Zach DeRazio would make some huge catches to set up the huge goal line possession, in which Cody Grice once again powers his way for 6 and would build Akron's lead to 21-10. Pittsburgh would try to rally together to try and avoid the upset, but the Akron defense would provide a key stop on 4th down, which would seal the upset as Akron would walk off the field victorious 21-10. Connor Hundley posted a career-high rushing total with 148 yards. The Akron defense also forced 3 fumbles in the contest. Head coach Terry Bowden expressed the excitement for the team and the program in his press conference.
The way they prepared themselves for this football game and the way they mentally felt like they came in here expecting to win the football game. We talked last night about what they needed to do, and first and foremost, they needed to go to bed last night expecting to come here and win a football game. And after a game like Marshall, that's not easy to do. The fact that they did that and came out here and won this game the way they did, I think first and foremost, you got to give credit to those players. Players win football games for you. And my assistant coaches, the job they did in preparing for this team, for our defense, for that was an incredible running attack that we faced today, and we were able to mix and match our defense and put together some schemes that caused some problems for them. And really caused the problems and really kept us going till the offense found its niche. It was just a great team effort for our team.
Well, it was tough for Zips fans to see the loss against Marshall, but they were certainly enthusiastic about the big win over the University of Pittsburgh.
Moving from Imphecision Stadium to First Energy Stadium and Cub Cadet Field, our women's soccer team faced Youngstown State for their last game before heading into MAC play. Ashley Ritter has the highlights.
On Friday, September 19th, our own Akron Zips faced off the Youngstown State Penguins. Zips started off strong with maintaining a run of offensive possessions. YSU had 8 shots total, including 3 on goal, which were all saved by goalie Kalair Adine. The Zips had a total of 12 shot attempts, 8 were on goal. Lainey Smith had 5 shots, and Karina Atkinson followed with 3. In the first and second halves, even though many shots were fired, the Zips and Penguins were both stuck at 0. Things started picking up in the 99th minute. Assisted by Sarah Civic, Atkinson took the ball into the box, maneuvers around Penguin defender, and fires the ball into the bottom left side, ending sudden death to take the final score of 1-0. Zips will be entering conference play next week with an outstanding winning record, which has not happened in over 6 seasons. After the game, Coach Vernon Croft shares his excitement.
They deserve it. They really do. And it's also the best 4-game run we've had in quite a number of years, being 3-0-1. Before that, it was 2-0-2.
Croft also shares information about the team's special dynamic.
A group that's not about me and not about I, it's truly about each other. And so I think a lot of the inner drive there comes from that desire to not let everybody else down as opposed to worrying about how tired they are.
For Akron, Atkinson had the only shot during extra time. Smith had 5 shots total with 4 shots on goal. For Youngstown, Riddle had 2 shots, including 1 shot on goal. Goalie Padul Sky saved 7 shots on goal and had 1 goal against.
Okay, team, we're going to be taking a short timeout.
But don't worry, because the game's not over yet.
After the TO, we'll be discussing the men's soccer team.
And Kara will be back refereeing this show's 2-minute warning with Matt Schisler and Daniel Cermak.
We'll see you in about 2 minutes.